Mr. Secretary, could I ask you to take one question each?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Go to Mr. Nunes. One question, if you will, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I was glad to hear that you're a supporter of American agriculture. I sent a letter, actually 2 letters now, to President Obama regarding a regulatory drought that we're experiencing in California, where we're on the verge of idling 500,000 acres of the most productive farmland in the world. UC Davis just came out with a study, said that that was going to cost us 80,000 jobs. My home county is at 15% unemployment, likely headed to 20 if this occurs. I would invite you, President Obama, we can all go have a big job-saving party. All we have to do is turn on the pumps in the Delta so we can pump water south. This is a regulatory drought dealing with ESA issues. But this is a very, very serious issue that we absolutely, I wanted to raise with you here today so that you know the seriousness of it. I want to talk a little bit about this cap and trade.
Would you basically reduce it to a question, because he's got to get to the White House for a function at 1 o'clock. He needs to leave here. 12:30 was the agreed upon time, and we're stretching.
That was a statement. Can I just a quick question on cap and trade?
Quick question would be fine.
The point that I want to make is in California we've attempted to limit greenhouse gases. I think that we can all agree that that's a good thing to do, and you won't have any argument from me. However, what we've seen in California is we went to 14 cents a kilowatt in our cost of electricity now, which is contributing to this outflow of migration leaving the state and jobs leaving the state. This is just to throw out there, this is kind of an example, but in the stimulus bill we spent $1 trillion, roughly. That $1 trillion would build at least 200 new nuclear reactors, which would get us, just hypothetically here, would get us to almost 80% of our electricity produced emission-free from nuclear power. And I think if you and I sat down and came up with a real plan how we're going to provide cheap, abundant electricity on the market, that we, at the end of the day, we could go through solar, wind, fossil fuels, and we'd always come back to the same thing, that we have to invest in new nuclear power reactors. And I would hope that, and I'd like to hear your answer to this, that we would look at, building these 200 reactors or some number. And do you guys have a plan of getting these reactors online, and how many should we expect should be built in the next 5 to 10 years, or should we expect any at all?
Excellent question, but it deserves a more thoughtful response than I give you here. I'd be happy to talk to my colleagues on the energy side and come back to you with a detailed response to that question.
Well, fair enough. I'd hope that we can look seriously at reducing our burning of fossil fuels, and I think nuclear power is going to be the way to do it. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for indulging me.
Mr. Yarmer.